The fifth item to consider when choosing a province is job availability and the competition in the job market. Places like Toronto, which is the main city for Ontario, have higher, although they may have a lot of jobs, the competition is very high there. So know that if you are planning to move to a place like Toronto, you might struggle finding a job. I know that there are other parts of Ontario like the Northern Ontario where there are more opportunities, so you can look at these dynamics. If you are considering a vibrant or a popular province, then you should look at the opportunities in the rural or the small communities in that province and see if you may want to rather move to those smaller communities where there may be more jobs and less competition for you. Once you have decided on which province you want to immigrate to, then you have to look at your own trade. So in this video, I'm using nurses as a case study. So as a nurse, once you have decided on the province, then you have to look at the nursing board in that province. Different nursing boards have different requirements. And remember that before you can easily immigrate to Canada through work permit or the PR pathway, it starts with your licensing and then getting your certifications equivalent to that province or to the Canadian standard. So if the credentialing authority or the board is very complicated or it's not friendly for immigration, you might be stuck up in the process and that will shatter all your dreams. So although that province is looking for nurses and healthcare workers, you have to make sure that the nursing board or the licensing authority has easy and laid down pathway for nurses or whichever your occupation is. For nurses, usually most provinces will require you to do the NNAS, but if you were trained in the United States, you might be exempted from this. And I know some other provinces, if you are trained in Australia, New Zealand, UK, they also have some expedited services or fast track routes for you. It's good to know the routes for your credential assessment so that you don't get stuck in the whole process. Some licensing authorities will require you to have some number of hours before they can start the process with you. Some nursing boards or licensing authorities will require you to be in Canada in person for them to assess you whether your skills are equivalent to the Canadian one. So be sure that the province you are choosing, especially if you are coming from Africa, you might need all your credentials done before you would even be able to move to Canada. So you might want to look for a province whereby you don't have to be here to do it, because it can be challenging also to get a visitor's visa just to come, but it's easier to come with a work permit. So I usually recommend coming either with the work permit or the PR straight, although it might not work for everybody.